Hey guys, this is Stephon McMillan.
And Justin, Mariah Carey, and Janet Jackson are coming back this month. Watson.
And you're listening to episode 4 of Exposure, a half-hour sit-down with some of online's newest and exciting content creators.
And tonight we have a wonderful guest. His name is Comconoclast, and his channel is Comconocave. We'll chat with him later on tonight.
And let's start the show. Hey guys, we're back for another week of Exposure. Thank you so much for listening and supporting us so far. We really appreciate it. And tonight, we have a great show for you guys and a great guest. Comconoclast will be talking with us in just a little while. Also, we'll talk about our new obsessions, we'll drop some philosophy, and we'll talk about the origins of the Truth Serum.
And here we are with another segment of breaking news with my horrible newscaster voice. We start off talking about YouTube updating their terms of service. Now, as you know, as a content creator, we put ads on our videos to make money.
Yes.
Now, what a lot of people don't know is YouTube takes 45% of that money. Now they are officially saying this. They've never officially said it before, but now they're putting it in black and white in the terms of service. And people are saying this has to do with them rolling out the new paid subscription service for YouTube. Now, if you don't remember from last week when we talked about this, this means you can pay YouTube a fee and get no ads on the entire site. Now, if you do remember last week, we also talked about how are they gonna split that money with everyone. Well, apparently they figured it out. It will be based on the number of subscribers and your watch time. Now, a lot of people don't know what watch time is. Watch time is a complicated variable. It has two parts to it, okay? First part is exactly what it sounds like, the amount of time someone spends watching your video. The second part is how long someone stays on the site after watching your video. And I think that's also why they have this new auto play feature, which is annoying. But that's it really for breaking news. And now switching from YouTube corporate to the YouTube community.
Here's Philosophical Corner.
And today we're going to discuss something that I don't really see the community talk about. Well, I guess I wouldn't be able to see them talk about it on YouTube. But that is disabling the comment section. Is it wrong or is it right?
I don't think it's wrong. I feel like it's your channel. You have the right to not hear what you don't want to hear. And especially if you're getting unnecessary hate comments, then yeah, block them. But if you're turning off your comments to avoid any sort of bad opinions from anybody, then it does come across that you're hiding from them. And a part of being a YouTuber is facing the good with the bad. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but I wouldn't necessarily use it.
You see, there was one time where I seen disabling comment section as a really good thing. And that was Sly Fox Hound. And he disabled the comment section because he had like a Make-A-Wish. He did a video with a Make-A-Wish kid. And I guess that made sense because obviously that kid's going to go watch it and they don't need to see the comments on that.
Right.
But there was a time where he disabled the comments on his videos like indefinitely, and it was just like, come on. And then it was like, oh, go to Tumblr. No. We're lazy. We don't want to go to different websites.
Well, I don't know if you know the girl group called GRL.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah. Well, I think it was over the summer, unfortunately, one of their members committed suicide. So, yeah, it's sad. So on Vivo, they disabled all the comments on all their videos. For a situation like that, I'm definitely for having the option of turning off the comments because you never know how insensitive some people can be.
Yeah. So I feel like if there's a purpose of taking away from the community, like if there's a greater good, that's just what I'm saying, and because you're taking something away from the community. Like, I don't care how much I like you, if I'm not gonna get extra, like really a lot of, like if I'm not gonna get extra content on the website, I'm not leaving YouTube because I have other YouTubers to watch. I'm not exclusively here for you, so I'm not gonna leave. I may love you, but I'm not gonna leave unless there's something extra I'm getting. And that was Philosophical Corner. Please let us know what you think. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave in the comment section. If not, send us an email at slowlistnetwork@gmail.com.
Our comments won't be turned off. All right, so when we come back, we're going to be talking with Comconoclast. Finally, we're so excited to have him on the show. We really love his channel, and we'll talk with him in just a little bit. So everybody loves online shopping, and everyone pretty much loves Amazon. I know I do. It's so convenient and easy to use. Well, now you can do your regular shopping and support exposure by using our affiliate link. That's j.mp/slowlist. Use our link and just shop as you usually would. It's free, easy, and you'll be helping out the show. That's j.mp/slowlist. That's SLOWLIST. And we're back with our guest, who we're so excited was able to chat with us today, Comconoclast. Thanks for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, so we always start out with this question. We have to know what inspired you to get started on YouTube?
Well, actually, I had a friend of mine who has a YouTube channel. His name's Ken, and his channel's the BYBI channel, John Ken Show. And he asked me to appear a couple times and do a few spots dealing with, fanboy, nerd, geek news, because he knows that I'm into comic books, TV, movies, things like that. And things started picking up, and after a while he was like, you should start your own channel, and I did. So he's been a huge supporter as far as the channel goes. And both he and John help me out regularly as far as, ideas and things like that.
So where did you come up with that channel name, Comconocave?
Ken actually came up with the name, the Comconoclast. It was something that he originated. When I changed my setup and I put a lot of my old toys and collectibles behind me, it was kind of an inside joke, and I called it the Comconocave after, the Bat Cave or, what have you. And that just kind of stuck. So I decided to name the channel the Comconocave, but I kept the name the Comconoclast.
So is it like based around like Comic-Cons and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, actually, I just went to the Indianapolis Comic-Con. It was their second one. Last year was they're obviously the first. It was very weak. I don't think they realized how many people were going to show up. This year it was about 4 times the size, and they had about 10 times the people. It was actually amazing. They had some really impressive celebrities show up as well. Carrie Fisher, Jason Momoa. I want to say Jenna from Doctor Who. I can't think of her last name right now. She plays his companion. She was there as well. My sister, as a matter of fact, she reached out to me earlier this year and said that she got tickets for her and myself to go to San Diego. So I'm actually going to be going out there and doing some filming for the show for the San Diego Comic-Con. First time I've ever been there. Pretty excited about that.
Well, with the rise of YouTube and I'm guessing like other online platforms like Netflix and Hulu Plus, do you think TV will be obsolete soon?
Well, I think the only way that it would be obsolete, and even if what I'm going to suggest, I don't think it will be obsolete. People are still going to be going to television. Well, for no other reason that it still has free airwaves. I mean, if you have an antenna, you can still watch, the major networks. But I have a feeling that it's going to be going to a la carte, and if that's the case, we're going to be seeing a lot of networks that are around now go out of business just because they won't be able to support themselves. But I think at the same time, people, as far as us viewers, we're going to be able to get more of what we want. If we only buy what we want to watch, that's going to force channels and companies to give us more of what we want. So I think a la carte is going to be the way to go. And we're kind of seeing that right now with the different pay streaming. We've got Hulu Plus, we've got Amazon, we got Google, we got Netflix. HBO, I think, is launching one as well. So I think it's already working towards that direction.
And do you have, when with your YouTube channel, do you have any like inspirations that you look up to?
I don't know about inspiration. I guess I can say that I draw inspiration from everybody that I subscribe to. Everybody has a little bit of they have a bit different, style or taste or technique to what they do. I don't want to say that I, take or steal anything like that from anybody, but, sometimes just the way somebody gives a response to something or says something, it just kind of resonates. And I'm like, oh, I like how they did that. Maybe I can incorporate that style into, something that I say or do. I have a whole bunch of different channels that I follow. One of the types of channels that I like to watch are book reviews. I enjoy reading, and it's actually a great way to find out about new novels and things like that. I don't have that many good bookstores around here that I can go and, say, just browse and find something that I enjoy. In fact, my sister, she sent me a novel just this past January that I hadn't heard of. It was called Ready Player One, and it was fantastic. And much to my dismay, I didn't know it had been out for about 4 or 5 years. I think it was released in 2011. In fact, next year they're going to be releasing a movie based on this book, and it's going to be directed by Steven Spielberg. Absolutely fantastic. And it actually dealt with a lot of things that I grew up with. Being in my mid-40s, I grew up in the 80s, dealt with a lot of video games, played Dungeons and Dragons, different television shows, things like that. All of them were incorporated into this book, and it absolutely was fantastic. Definitely resonated with me, and enjoyed it tremendously. I think I read the book in about a day and a half. I've been recommending it to everybody that I know that I grew up with.
And so for a YouTuber that hasn't uploaded a video yet, do you have any advice for them?
Don't be afraid. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to a new YouTuber. They don't want to put themselves out there. It's not because they're afraid of what they're uploading, but what sort of response they might get. Mm-hmm. So I say, don't worry about the response. If this is something that you want to do, do it. Don't worry. There are going to be haters no matter what you do, whether it's something that you say in a crowd, say on the telephone, write down on a blog or whatever. If it's something that you want to do, do it. And don't worry about the response. I mean, no matter what you do, you're going to get positive response, and you are going to get some negative response. But, take the negative response and, turn it into a positive. Maybe you can learn from what sort of, negativity they're giving towards you. Take it with a grain of salt, but don't let it get you down. Just, if it's something you want to do it.
And with the Batman versus Superman thing, a lot of people were like thrown off a little bit because I guess we thought, there's going to be, I guess, 2 Superman, 2 Batman, then Justice League. And then people were like, oh, no, that's not what they're doing. So what do you think this movie is going to be?
I think it's going to be a tribute to Miller's The Dark Knight. I think that it's definitely going to be an older Bruce Wayne. From what I understand, Lex Luthor is going to be playing a large force in this movie. Somehow, and now there's been a lot of rumors about this movie, and if you don't mind, I'll give you a couple of things that I've heard. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be taking place. Apparently, Lex Luthor is able to get the body of Zod from the Man of Steel. He runs a lot of tests on him to try to find a weakness for Superman. Somehow he develops Doomsday, which we know was the creature that destroyed or killed Superman in the comic books. Completely different origin, by the way, if that's the way they're going. Somehow he's able to get Superman to attack Batman, and that's where the whole title of the movie comes from. But at the end of the day, Superman and Batman end up being friends. I'm actually more excited about the Suicide Squad movie, which is going to be released after the Batman Superman movie. It just sounds a little bit more interesting. Something that DC is taking a chance on doing is focusing on the villains and making them the center focal point of the movie. Marvel hasn't done anything like that yet. I think this was a ballsy move, and I think it was a great strategy on DC's part.
So, you mentioned like you read a lot, and you mentioned writing, and one of my aspirations is to be a TV producer / writer. So, what do you look for, or what do you think a good written story needs, or what does it look like?
What it needs is a strong lead, and when I say strong, I don't mean physical. You need somebody that is interesting. Somebody that, they can be damaged. They could be popular. They have to have something that resonates with the reader, that draws you into the story, that you want to know more about this person. One of my favorite writers, or authors, I should say, was Vince Flynn. I was lucky enough to meet him on a number of occasions, even have quite a few books autographed from him. He was fantastic. He had a guy, oh goodness, it's been a while, rap, I can't remember what his name is now. Anyway, he was kind of like Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. Just very strong, thrown into a situation where he's not ready for, but he tries to make the most of it. Something like that, I think, is important. A hero is not somebody that does it because they're expected to. A hero does it because they have to, whether they want to or not. And
it's kind of like built into them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what makes the character. In fact, if they're flawed and don't want to do it, but end up doing it anyways, I think that makes it even more exciting, because a lot of people can relate to that more than they can just somebody, jumping in front of a bullet, just jump in front of a bullet, It definitely starts with a strong main character.
Well, it seems like a lot of YouTubers are trying to write books. It seems like Shane Dawson, Joey Gusafa. Would you ever write a book, or would you use a ghostwriter to write it for you? And I guess what would it be about?
Well, one of the reasons why I started writing a blog was just to freshen up on my writing skills, because what I do professionally doesn't require much writing whatsoever. So the blog actually is a way for me to brush up on my skills. I had taken some college courses after high school and focused primarily on English, not necessarily words and structure, but short stories and things like that. And it's something that I still enjoy. So the blog is a way for me to be able to keep up with, just staying fresh and comfortable with writing. The problem I've had is the older I get, the less creativity I have. I don't know if, life just kind of wears you down and you don't come up with quite as many new ideas. But every once in a while, something will pop in my head and I'm like, well, you know what, that would make a good story. It's just a matter of finding where to go with it. You can have a good idea, but if you don't have a start, middle, or an end, it's just an idea. So, no, it's something I wouldn't mind pursuing. It's just finding the right inspiration, I guess.
Well, thank you so much. I do have another question, but it doesn't have to be in the show. I just want to hear your opinion. So I just wanted to know why, there have been so many great TV shows, but they don't end well. Do you have an opinion on why the shows just can't end?
Well, I think the reason why they can't end them well is because they go into the television show planning for a 7 or 8 season run, but they're looking for the longevity, but they don't have an ending. And I'll tell you what, some of the shows that do have endings that have been planned are horrible. Look at Lost. I mean, that was not only Lost, but to get away from the genre, How I Met Your Mother. I thought it was a funny half-hour, sitcom, and they said that they had the ending planned before they ever got through the first season. And after watching the final episode where the mom died, I was like, really? Oh my God, how sick are you? I mean, they've been giving us laughs for the last 9 or 10 years, and then to end it on her dying, I thought that was kind of morbid and sick. So it's kind of like a song. I mean, most songs can fade out, but a lot of songs don't really have a definite ending. Which, when you go to a concert, that kind of makes things awkward. It just kind of abruptly ends when they come to a popular song. It's the same way with the television show.
I just stumbled across your page. Why should I subscribe?
Well, I guess it depends on if you like comics or movies or television. I mean, if you're into, the Lifetime channel, keep going. What I try to do is find interesting things that I find interesting and share them with people. So if you have an interest in anything that's kind of geek or fanboy related, then I would hope that you'd subscribe just so you could see if it's something that you've heard about or hadn't heard about. But like I said, I don't do this for the subscribers. I just do it because I enjoy it. So I don't feel it necessary to, try to convince somebody to subscribe. If they want to, they will. If they don't, I don't hold any animosity towards them. There's so many different channels out there. I know it's hard to, watch every single one that you subscribe to. As a matter of fact, it's just really hard. I have trouble watching every single subscription that I belong to. I do my best, and I make it a point to watch everybody that I can, but it's really difficult. The more and more people that you subscribe to, it's harder and harder to watch and a lot of people are putting stuff out a lot more frequently. I only put things out once a week, but some people put things out every day, and I'm not able to keep up with, every single one of those videos.
Well, you're doing a great job so far. Thank you so much for coming. We'll be right back with our Obsessions of the Week.
Hey guys, thank you so much for all of your support. But if you want to take the step further and support us more, you can go to patreon.com/slowlist. And what Patreon is, it's a site where you can pay monthly. You can give us $1 a month or however much you feel is necessary. And you will help support the show. And not only that, you'll help us achieve our goals. Launching a website, creating the shows more times a week. If you really like exposure, maybe if we make enough money, we can do exposure 2 times a week or more. So, if you want to see the Slowlist Network grow, if you want to see exposure grow, please head over to patreon.com/slowlist. And we have a new segment for you guys called Obsession of the Week. Now, we know some other, YouTubers, podcasters have done this, but we're going to do it too. And we like Beyonce. We're inspired. So I'll start off. My Obsession of the Week is this performance by Whitney Houston of a song called This Day. I do like the one she performed on stage, but the rehearsal is so amazing, and I just can't stop listening to it. The song is, it's a famous gospel song, but it's kind of an obscure song for Whitney Houston because, I never heard it until just recently, and you just got to listen to it. Her voice is on A+, all right? A+. And that's my obsession.
My obsession of the week is Amanda Steinberg. You may know her as Rue from the first Hunger Games movie. Well, she decided it was time to set the record straight about what cultural appropriation really means. Cultural appropriation is the adoption of elements of one culture by members of a different cultural group. So, basically, Iggy Azalea. Well, she did a project for her history class, and on the subject, and I just love that such a young girl, she's only 16, is so knowledgeable on a topic that people twice her age know nothing about. So, congratulations, Amanda.
Hi-ho, folks. This is Turwinkle of the Adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage, at youtube.com/PalmerBomber1, and you're listening to Exposure.
All right, we're back for another week of channel reviews, and tonight we'll be looking at Elissa Jordan's channel.
Elissa has a smaller channel, but she does a bunch of different stuff. She is a vlogger, she does rant videos, she does tags, and a bunch of other stuff.
She looks like a fairly new YouTuber too, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think of Elissa's channel?
I think she has a great channel, great potential, especially her being a tad bit younger. I think she will have longevity if she doesn't give up, of course. There are some things I would change, maybe better thumbnails. Some of the thumbnails aren't visible from a distance. Better descriptions. You got to put all your links and stuff in the description as well. And I feel like if she keeps doing collabs, that's all she really needs.
Well, I don't want to assume anything, but she does seem a little young. So for someone her age, it seems like she's pretty much on the right track. She has a great channel artwork, new videos every Friday. She seems like she's consistent. Her thumbnails are on point. So for someone her age, I think it's great what she's doing.
Yeah, her channel's really good. I see a lot of potential. So I guess we gotta do grades now, right? I don't know. I just want to give her an A. I really do. Maybe she should try and find more of a niche so she can really grow, because I feel like just a vlogger is too general nowadays and it's going to be really hard to grow. But maybe if she can find a niche, she can do well.
I'd give her an A as well. I really enjoyed her content. Seems like she's on the right track to, I think, be a really great YouTuber. So good job, Elissa.
Well, guys, thank you again for joining us for another episode of Exposure. But real quick, before we ended, I just wanted to say I am starting a new channel, right? Okay. And I started a new channel. Now, YouTube changed their policy on custom URL, so I can't tell you the name of the channel. But the fact that I'm bringing this up to say I'm going to try sub for sub, purely sub for sub on this channel. I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. All right. And then I'll report back. And then I'll report back and see if it's even worth it. I know a lot of people say it's not worth it, but you know, sometimes if you know how to, if you can do something right, you can do something right. If it's wrong, you can do it right. They are functioning addicts. Okay? So I'm just going to try it out. And remember, guys, if you like the show, please leave us a rating on iTunes. If you want to see more exposure, sometimes we cut out stuff. Sometimes it's just bloopers and extras. Please go to youtube.com/slowlistinyourface. If you want updates, you can follow us on Twitter at Exposure Show, or you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/exposurepod. That's exposure pod. Don't forget to check out our guest Comconoclast on youtube.com/Comconocave. I believe that's his URL. And thank you so much. If you want to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at slowlistnetwork@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of Exposure.